After 4 long months, the Ranger is finally back and it is drivable once again. Now I'm going to go over exactly everything that's been going on with this truck because it has been in and out of the shop way too many times. I have barely driven it. It's probably got maybe 1,000 miles on it now since the transmission went out. So let me grab my notepad, look at my notes, and we're going to go over everything that's been going on with this truck. Now this all started back in April when I was leaving work one day. I went to put the truck in reverse to back out of my spot, and basically it was just neutral. Now I made a video about exactly what happened with that, so I'll go ahead and link it in the top right corner of this video so you guys can go check that video out. But yeah, pretty much once that happened, I parked it at my dad's for about a month and a half. I think it was early April when it broke, and we didn't take it into the shop until early June. So it sat there for the entire month of April and May. And we went ahead and sourced our own transmission. I'm not gonna drop any names, but the first transmission, it got put in. It only took them half a week to do. They're a little bit busy there. It's a pretty good shop that I went to, from what I've heard. But when I received the truck back after getting it fixed in quotes, I noticed there was a pretty good transmission leak happening, transmission fluid leak. It was literally a stream coming out of the transmission. And upon further inspection, it ended up being the servo cover. So I took it back in and they went ahead and worked on it for me. So once I took the truck back into the shop, they figured out it was the servo cover leaking. So they went ahead and installed a new snap ring in there into the groove, hoping it would hold. And literally the same day, if not the next day, it was leaking again, pretty bad. So took it right back to the shop and they're like, yeah, there's nothing we can do about that. The actual casing of the transmission is defective now since it blew that snap ring out of there. So we made a decision and decided to have the transmission removed from the truck. We sent it back to the supplier. They went ahead and issued us a refund, which was a very lengthy process. It probably took about 2 months to get the money back. So I'm not dropping any names, but I'll never be ordering from them again. So once they started doing that process, we went with a transmission through the shop that I went through, and they probably had that in there within, I'll say within a week, they had that transmission installed. Went and picked it up. I was like, sweet, got a new transmission in here. It's got warranty through the shop. And basically I was like, I have nothing to worry about. So I started driving the truck around. I don't remember how long I had it for, but I looked underneath and noticed it was leaking transmission fluid once again. So I checked the servo cover, and it was not the servo cover this time. I checked the transmission pan, it was not that. It ended up being a transmission line that was way up high. It had a bad O-ring. They went ahead and swapped that out for me, and no more transmission leak. So once I got the truck back again, I was like, sweet, now I'm good to go. There should be no more problems. Once again, I can't really remember how long I drove the truck for until I noticed it was leaking transmission fluid once again. So I went ahead and went up under the truck and looked at it, and turns out it's leaking from the transfer case adapter gasket. So I called up the shop. They said, yep, bring it by. Took it in there. I think they had it for 2 weeks before they even worked on it because they were so busy. So 2 weeks go by, and they finally give me a call, say it's ready. Went to the shop, picked it up, and I probably drove it for maybe a day or two, looked under there. The same gasket's leaking once again. So at this point, I'm pretty upset that all this money's been spent and the truck's still leaking fluid. I can't drive it. I'm still paying on the truck and I can't even drive it. So I'm a little frustrated at this point. So I took it back, and the owner just said, you know what, I'm gonna take a look at it with my own eyes this time. So I think about a few days went by and he gave me a call and said that he can't get the surface flat on the transfer case adapter, so he's replacing the entire piece, which is covered under warranty. It's fine. So they probably had it about a week at this point, and it gave me a call, so the truck's ready to go. And I picked it up and I looked under there. It was dry. They had, looks like RTV all over it, so I'm sure they're tired of seeing my truck come back to the shop. So I've been driving it for I think 2 weeks now, and knock on wood, there is no leaks. So the transmission should be fixed. That was a lengthy process, very frustrating process, but I think the transmission is good to go. It still slams into reverse like it did in the old one, so I don't know what the deal is with that. So I guess something wrong with the computer in the truck. I have no idea. If you guys know what makes the truck slam into reverse, please let me know. I've changed all the U-joints out. It's not the U-joints. I have no idea. But I do want to say, in the middle of this transmission process, on one of the times I received the truck back. I looked up under the truck one day and noticed my control arm, the front right control arm, is soaked. I'm like, what the hell is going on now? So I went up under there and noticed I had a crack in my radiator. So during this entire transmission process, I had to swap out my radiator too. So now that's fixed. And miscellaneous lights are burning out. The AC went out on me. All I did was pull the relay for the AC compressor and put it back in, and it's been blowing ice cold since. So hopefully that's all the problems I'm gonna have with this truck, because this thing has been nothing but a headache and I'm sick of it. I just want to drive it. Anyways, guys, that's a wrap on this video. That's just a little update of what's been going on behind the scenes. You guys haven't seen a video from me, I think, 5 months now. So that's exactly what's going on. The truck should be fixed, I'm hoping. I don't want to take it back to the shop anymore. I just want to drive it. I'm so sick of going back and forth to the shop. But yeah, that's the little update I have for you guys. So hope you enjoyed.